HR is no longer a back-office function. It is a strategic force shaping the future of business success. In today's rapidly evolving business environment, organizations depend on HR to not just support operations, but drive long-term growth, workforce innovation, and competitive advantage. But how does HR move from tactical execution to strategic influence? The answer lies in strategic workforce planning. A well-crafted HR strategy is not a static document. It is a dynamic roadmap that aligns HR initiatives with financial growth and operational objectives, ensures workforce optimization and business agility, and empowers leadership, innovation, and long-term organizational sustainability. To achieve this, HR leaders must leverage proven strategic frameworks like the balanced scorecard, aligning people strategy with corporate performance indicators. In this session, we will explore the strategic planning process, how HR can define, implement, and measure workforce strategies that contribute directly to business success. We will also look at HR's role in translating corporate vision into actionable talent strategies, and how the balanced scorecard framework ensures HR decisions are data-driven and aligned with key business objectives. This is where HR shifts from an administrative function to a business-critical force. Let's dive in. Strategic planning is the foundation of HR's role as a business driver. Without a structured process, HR risks operating in silos, disconnected from the financial, operational, and growth objectives of the company. HR leaders must follow a structured approach to ensure their plans are goal-driven, actionable, and measurable. The HR strategic planning process includes defining the organizational vision and HR's role in achieving it. HR must align its mission with the company's long-term goals. Whether the focus is scaling operations, improving retention, or entering new markets, HR must connect workforce strategies to these priorities. Every successful organization begins with a clear vision, a blueprint for where the company is headed. This vision defines long-term goals, market positioning, and competitive advantage. But a vision alone is not enough. It must be translated into actionable strategies, and that's where HR plays a pivotal role. HR's responsibility is to bridge the gap between corporate aspirations and workforce realities. Whether the company's focus is on scaling operations, improving retention, or expanding into new markets, HR must align its mission and workforce strategy with these priorities. Let's break down how HR contributes to achieving an organization's vision and long-term success. A business vision is only as strong as the workforce behind it. HR must ensure that people strategies are directly aligned with business success, answering key questions such as, does the organization have the right talent to achieve its vision? Are employees engaged, developed, and positioned to support business goals? Are workforce policies and structures designed to scale with business growth? Key HR strategies to support business vision include scaling operations and workforce expansion. As organizations grow, HR must forecast talent needs, ensuring recruitment, onboarding, and retention strategies support expansion plans. Enhancing employee retention and engagement is also crucial. Achieving long-term goals requires stability in leadership and workforce morale. HR plays a crucial role in creating career pathways, leadership development programs, and engagement initiatives to reduce turnover. Navigating global expansion and market entry is another key strategy. If an organization plans to enter new markets, HR must prepare for international workforce challenges, including cross-border compliance and labor laws, multinational workforce integration, and expatriate mobility and relocation support. Why this matters? A company's vision can only be realized if HR strategies are seamlessly integrated into business operations. Without strategic workforce alignment, organizations risk talent shortages, leadership gaps, and operational inefficiencies. HR is not just about managing employees, it's about shaping the workforce needed to drive organizational success. To align workforce strategies with business objectives, HR must identify key workforce capabilities. HR must conduct skill gap analyses, ensuring employees have the competencies required for long-term success. Develop leadership pipelines. Organizations cannot scale without strong leadership. HR must implement succession planning strategies, executive coaching programs, and high-potential talent development initiatives to future-proof leadership roles. foster an adaptive and resilient workforce. Business environments are constantly evolving. HR leaders must ensure the workforce is flexible, adaptable, and ready to respond to changes in market conditions, technology, and industry disruptions. Support innovation and continuous learning. An organization cannot grow without innovation, and innovation comes from a culture of continuous learning. HR must embed reskilling and upskilling programs into corporate learning initiatives, leverage HR technology and analytics to monitor workforce capabilities, encourage cross-functional collaboration to drive creative problem-solving. Why this matters. HR leaders who fail to align workforce strategies with business vision risk talent shortages, disengaged employees, and leadership instability. Those who proactively connect HR's mission to corporate goals ensure business agility and long-term success. HR's role in executing an organization's vision doesn't end with strategy development. It must also be measured and refined to ensure sustained impact. How HR tracks its contribution to business success. Workforce analytics and predictive metrics. HR must measure talent acquisition success, turnover rates, and workforce productivity to assess whether the workforce is meeting business demands. HR's impact on revenue and business growth. HR-driven initiatives, such as employee retention programs and leadership development, must be linked to financial performance and operational efficiency. Employee engagement and organizational culture metrics. A workforce that is aligned with company values and engaged in their roles is more likely to contribute to business success and innovation. Why this matters. A strong HR strategy doesn't just execute workforce initiatives. It ensures that every HR decision supports the company's long-term vision. By tracking and analyzing HR's impact, business leaders can make informed decisions that drive company-wide growth. Defining an organizational vision is just the first step. HR's role is to bring that vision to life. To ensure long-term business success, HR leaders must translate business objectives into actionable HR strategies, develop a workforce that is prepared to scale, innovate, and lead, and measure and optimize HR's contribution to business performance. By aligning HR's mission with corporate goals, organizations build a high-performing, engaged, and resilient workforce that is ready for sustained success in a competitive market. And that concludes our deep dive into aligning HR's mission with business vision, a fundamental component of strategic workforce planning. Conducting a workforce SWOT analysis, a strategic approach to workforce planning. Just like business leaders analyze market strengths and weaknesses, HR must evaluate workforce capabilities, leadership gaps, and talent risks. This includes assessing internal talent, are skills aligned with future needs, identifying organizational risks. Are leadership pipelines strong enough? Benchmarking against industry trends. How does workforce productivity compare to competitors? Evaluating workforce capabilities, leadership gaps, and talent risks. In business strategy, leaders use SWOT analysis to evaluate their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in the market. But what about the workforce? HR must conduct workforce SWOT analysis to ensure that talent capabilities, leadership pipelines, and workforce structures are aligned with business goals. A strong workforce SWOT analysis helps HR leaders assess internal strengths, identify risks, and benchmark against industry standards, ultimately shaping strategic workforce planning and decision-making. Let's break down how HR applies SWOT analysis to workforce strategy. Assessing internal talent. Are skills aligned with future needs? The first step in workforce SWOT analysis is assessing internal talent, evaluating whether the skills, expertise, and leadership capabilities within the organization are aligned with future business demands. Key questions HR must ask. Do employees possess the technical and leadership skills required to support the company's long-term goals? Are current training and development programs equipping employees with critical future skills, like AI, data analytics, and global leadership? Are there gaps in expertise that could lead to a workforce bottleneck or competitive disadvantage? How HR assesses internal talent. Workforce skill mapping, analyzing whether current employees possess the right skills for the future and identifying areas requiring upskilling or reskilling. Competency frameworks and career paving, structuring growth opportunities for employees to ensure long-term workforce sustainability. Employee development and succession planning metrics, measuring promotion readiness, leadership potential, and career progression trends to ensure long-term workforce agility. Why this matters. Failing to assess internal workforce strengths can result in future skill shortages, increased hiring costs, and lost business opportunities. HR leaders must continuously evaluate and optimize workforce capabilities to align with industry shifts and business needs. The next critical step in workforce SWOT analysis is identifying organizational risks, particularly gaps in leadership pipelines, talent retention risks, and workforce vulnerabilities. Key HR risks that must be evaluated. Leadership succession risks. What happens if a key executive suddenly leaves? Are there ready successors to take on leadership roles, or will the company face a leadership vacuum? Turnover and employee attrition risks. Is the organization losing high-performing employees to competitors? Are there trends indicating disengagement, dissatisfaction, or cultural misalignment? Workforce stability and retirement planning. Are key employees nearing retirement without a transition plan in place? How will HR retain institutional knowledge as seasoned leaders exit the organization? How HR identifies and mitigates workforce risks. Succession planning and leadership development programs, ensuring future leaders are identified, developed, and ready to take on executive roles. Retention and engagement metrics, using employee satisfaction surveys, turnover rate analysis, and exit interviews to detect early warning signs of workforce disengagement. Workforce contingency planning, preparing for economic downturns, industry shifts, and workforce disruptions that could impact hiring, compensation, or workforce agility. Why this matters. Without proactive workforce risk management, organizations face disruptions, instability, and talent shortages that can negatively impact business continuity. HR must act as the guardian of workforce sustainability.